If you're a founder thinking about entering the US market, this story has lessons you want to take heavy notes on. The Aldi story starts in 1913 when Anna Albrecht opened a small grocery store in Essen. After the war, her sons Karl and Theo took over. Germany's economy was destroyed. People needed food they could afford. So the brothers built a business around one brutal idea. Eliminate every cost that doesn't end up on the customer's plate. No music, no big staff. They refused to put telephones in their store, so managers had to use the payphone down the street. By 1960, they shortened the name to Aldi, and it was one of Germany's biggest chains. 80 years later, the company operates nearly 2,800 stores across the United States. It added 17 million new American customers last year alone. Karl and Theo didn't become successful by copying the competition. They became successful by knowing exactly what they were and refusing to be anything else. They were a low-cost, high-efficiency grocery store. Every decision flowed from that identity. I see the opposite all the time with founders entering the US. They get here and immediately start trying to be something they're not. They see what American competitors are doing and think they need to match it. They add complexity, they hire people they don't need, they lose the thing that made them competitive back home. Before you enter the US, be brutally clear on what makes you different. Write it down in one sentence. If you can't, you're not ready. And once you're here, protect that sentence with everything you've got. In 1976, Aldi opened its first US store. Not in New York, not in LA, in Iowa. That choice tells you everything about how they think. Iowa had low real estate costs, practical consumers who valued savings, and no fierce grocery competition that would crush them before they figured out what worked. They could test their model, make mistakes, and iterate without burning through their capital. And they didn't rush. For the first 20 years, Aldi grew slowly, quietly, mostly Midwest and East Coast, small, efficient stores in practical locations. Analysts were skeptical. They said consumers expected big stores, big selections, and big brands. But Aldi bet the opposite. And they were right. It took patience. I talk to founders every week who want to launch in San Francisco or New York, and sometimes that's the right call. But more often it's ego. They want to say they're in their biggest market. Meanwhile, their burn rate is 3 times what it would be in Austin, Denver, and the competition is 10 times fiercer. Your first US market doesn't need to be the biggest. It needs to be the one where your cost of entry is low enough to survive while you learn. You can always expand to New York later. You can't expand anywhere if you run out of money in month 6. Adapt where it matters, hold where it doesn't. Here's where the Aldi story gets really interesting for founders. When Aldi came to America, consultants and industry experts told them to localize, expand the product range, offer full-service delis and bakeries like everyone else. Aldi said no. They kept small stores and limited selection, left products in shipping boxes. Customers bagged their own groceries. And every one of them saved money that went back to the customer as lower prices. That was their competitive advantage. They weren't going to optimize it away just because it looked different. But here's the nuance. Aldi wasn't rigid. They adapted where the market demanded it. When American shoppers started wanting fresh produce and meat, Aldi added it. When online groceries took off, they partnered with Instacart instead of building their own logistics from scratch. When the 2008 financial crisis pushed millions of shoppers toward discount options, Aldi was already positioned to catch them. The pattern is simple but hard to execute. Protect your core, adapt at the edges. Most founders get this backward. They changed the core, the pricing, the positioning, the product. Aldi did the opposite. The low-cost, high-efficiency model never changed. Everything else was negotiable. So when you enter the US, you'll get 100 pieces of advice telling you to change. Some of it is the market telling you something is real. Most of it is the people who don't understand what makes you successful. Your job is to know the difference. Infrastructure before ambition. The last 5 years have been Aldi's biggest chapter in the US. And they only happened because of the 40 years before them. In 2025, they opened a record 225 new stores. Store traffic was up to 8% year over year. Compare that to Walmart at 0.5% and Kroger at 0.8%. In 2026, 180 more stores entering Maine, expanding into Phoenix and Las Vegas. They've committed $9 billion to US growth through 2028. And here's the detail that matters most. Aldi is privately held. They're owned by family foundations. That private ownership gave them something most companies don't have: permission to invest for the long term without short-term pressure. Now, I know what you're thinking. I don't have $9 billion. I don't have 50 years. Fair. But the principle scales down. If your board expects your US operation to be profitable in year one, you're set up to make short-term decisions that kill your long-term positioning. The founders I see succeed in the US are the ones who set realistic timelines with their investors up front. 18 to 36 months to find product market fit, not 6. So build the infrastructure before the ambition. Nail your supply chain, your compliance, your first 5 hires before you try to scale to 50. And make sure your capital structure gives you the patience to do it right. The companies that rush US expansion don't fail because the market is bad. They actually fail because they ran out of runway. So let's recap the Aldi playbook. 1. Know exactly what makes you different and protected. 2. Start where you can win, not where you want to be seen. And 3. Adapt the edges, never at the core. 4. Build the infrastructure before the ambition and make sure your capital gives you time. A German family started with a bombed out corner store. Today, 1 in 3 American households shops at their stores. It took 50 years, brutal discipline, and a willingness to look different in a market that wanted them to conform. You probably don't need 50 years, but you do need the discipline. Next video, I'm telling you a story of Trader Joe's, a company that Aldi's brother bought and then did something most acquirers would never do: left it completely alone. That decision built one of the most beloved brands in American retail. And it's a completely different lesson for founders. So subscribe so you don't miss it. And if you're a founder building your US entry plan right now, which of these 4 lessons hits hardest? Drop in the comments. I read everyone. I'll see you in the next one.